As if the list of candidates to succeed Tim Geithner as Treasury Secretary wasn't getting long enough, now you have Politico's Ben White throwing Mitt Romney's name into the ring. Just yesterday, Ben created some buzz around this possibility after he tweeted Romney for Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, and Ben White joins us right now to talk more about that. Ben, you admit it's unlikely, though, but you think this would work. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, it's a little unlikely. Good to be with you. Thank you. But you look at the two things, the biggest knocks on the Obama administration in the first term were they didn't have a businessman with any business experience in any senior role, and they had terrible relations with Republicans on Capitol Hill. So no businessman, no bipartisanship. Romney gives you both of those, and he's a guy that can get along with Republicans. He's a guy who could make a deal on entitlements, tax reform, and he gets you a lot of business experience. It's unlikely, and I first sort of said it kind of as a joke, and then I thought, you know what, it actually makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people agreed with that.
Well, I mean, certainly the president wants to reach across the aisle, once in a while and have a Republican do that. Usually businessman goes to Commerce Secretary, though. Don't you agree?
Yeah, often. But Commerce is not it's kind of a backwater agency. And if you want somebody who has a really, powerful role, and in this next term, the big thing is going to be the big tax reform deal and the big entitlement reform deal. He's going to need Republican support in the House of Representatives. He's going to need a dialogue where people have somebody, a trusted partner they can deal with. But Romney gives you a lot of that, and he's got great experience in private equity doing deals. He needs to do a big deal here.
Well, let's assume it's not going to be Mitt Romney. Let's decide right now who it's going to be. You first.
Well, no. For a while, I thought it was going to be Larry Fink. I no longer think that. I'm told, my sources tell me it's not going to be Larry Fink, and he was told so. I don't know about that, but that's what my sources say. And my sources say that it's probably going to be Jack Lew. So what do you think about Jack Lew, the former chief of staff?
That's my pick.
That was your pick all along, actually. So what does that do in terms of the perception of the Treasury, and do you think that he is going to be an individual then who will be a positive liaison for business and sort of take away this antagonistic perception?
Well, that's the big question. And Jack Lew is obviously the favorite, and I think he probably does wind up getting it. Everybody likes him. He's very smart, good technocrat. He's got good relationships on the Hill. He'd be fine, I think. But in terms of
he'd be perfect for a second. He's perfect for a second term, right?
He's okay for a second term. I don't think he's perfect. I don't think he's a guy that changes the game. A dynamic change is what you need in a second term, and what you need is somebody who's really going to have the business community come in and understand what you're talking about. They don't have that now. Commerce doesn't really give you anything. So Jack Lew's probably right. I think he'll do fine. He'll do a fine job. But in terms of having a different second term, one where you have a different relationship with business, a different relationship with the Republicans, he's not the guy who's going to give that to you.
No, he's not the guy. That's what I think.
But one thing in his favor is his relationship with members of Congress, and you need to negotiate with them, and they're doing that on the fiscal cliff right now. So what are you hearing? Are we making progress or not? All of this public posturing notwithstanding.
Oh, I think we're definitely making progress. I think your previous guests who talked about the kabuki dance of this process were right. I think Maria's also right that it's a little too late in the game for first salvos, but that's what these are, and that's how these processes always go. They go to the 11th hour. They will this time. But there is the possibility for a deal around $1 trillion in increased revenues, $1 trillion in spending cuts. How you get exactly the revenue remains to be seen. There will be some marginal rate increases, but we're going to get a deal. We might get a House vote where it fails and you have a TARP moment and the stock market tanks, but then they'll get a good deal before Christmas and we'll all be fine.